Okay, I'm going to show you how to craft what I'd say are the absolute basics in Grounded. If you're starting out, these are the first things you're going to need to make. You can figure it out, but this might speed things up for you a little bit. So when you're running around, some of the things you want to get, especially start of the game, but this carries on as you go through. You want to grab plant fibres. You can get these from a range of different places, but just grab them as you go. Don't worry about your storage, especially if it's your first bit starting out, because you're not going to fill it up immediately. And you want to grab things called sprigs. And if you have a look around, you'll find pebblets. Now, in the version that I'm playing here, there is a lot of fibres and pebblets and sprigs kicking around. So it's a little bit different to the last build that I played before this one. When you do make some of these tools, you can get additional plant fibres from the bottom of grass once you've chopped it down. So if you have a look around here, there's loads of things to collect. So the basics that you're going to want to be able to craft is pebblet axe, hammer, spear and a torch. So I'll just really quickly show you how you do that. It's pretty straightforward on the crafting menu, but I'll give you some advice on what you can use them for. So when you've picked up sprigs, pebblets, and you've got some of the plant fibre, you'll get the option to make these. They might not pop up straight away, because what you will need to make is crude rope. So crude rope is made from 3 plant fibres. This shows me how many I have available. So if you want to make some crude rope, certainly on the PC you select it. I think you hold down one of the buttons like X or something on the Xbox, and you'll craft it. You can't mash the buttons or keep holding it down really quickly. It kind of bodges it up. So you've got to wait for the bar to finish and clear, and then you can make more. So crude ropes are essential for you to have at the start of the game. Pebblet axe requires 3 sprigs, 2 pebblets and a crude rope. So this is the starting axe, and you'll see you can't cut down this weed. We need to get a stronger one, but grass we can cut down and we can use that as building materials. One of the things not to forget with the grass is to pick up planks and have them in your hands when you go to a research station, because you can find some information out about those that helps you to make some new stuff that's very useful. There's also dry grass that you can cut down as well, which is used in crafting too. You can see that my axe broke, so I'll need to make another one, so I'll do that now. And we made ourselves another axe. Pebblet hammer is not massively useful when you first start out, but you are going to need one, so I'd make one sooner rather than later, because one of the first objectives has a cave where you can break down some rocks and you can get materials from them. And also when you get up to the tree, you'll be able to break down some acorns, and again scan those into the research stations, and you'll be able to make some more interesting stuff like spades and so on. Pebblet spear, this is your... I kind of went with the axe for ages to attack things. It's not particularly great. It does have a little bit more stun that you can see over here, but the pebblet spear gives you a little bit more range, and when you throw it, it certainly does a lot of damage. These are good for most of the early game enemies that you can see. So pebblet hammer requires sprigs again, more pebblets, but they're all around, and more crude rope. Pebblet spear is a similar combination, it's just in different quantities. So 2 sprigs, 3 plant fibres and a pebblet. And you will, I made a few of those, so I've got 5 of them in my inventory, so I can chuck them at things, especially if a spider shows up, and I can get sneaky with it. The other one you'll need as well, you need this to progress in the game, a torch, and I'll show you how to get all the ingredients for this. Sprig we've seen, crude rope we've seen, sap and dry grass chunks. So a dry grass chunk, you see some grass kicking around like this, you chop it up just like you did with the grass planks, and that will give you some dry grass. You can also see them like this where it's kind of more alive, so it's just the same thing. If you want to find sap, there's a few places you can find sap. You can find them on branches that have fallen to the ground. It's kind of more precious sap. You don't see it as much as others. If you head up to the tree, so by the tree I'm talking about this blurry object in the background because of amazing depth of field. I'll fall into here. If you head up to the tree, you will find these hanging off the bottom of branches, which I'll show you in a second. Alright, okay, so we've headed up to the base of the tree and you'll find sap clumps. You will need the hammer that we talked about making earlier. And this certainly will make the earlier game easy for you in terms of things you want to make with sap. So just bear in mind that if you're getting a bit bored of finding sap, this is one of the earlier locations. You might not actually find out until a little bit later. So if you follow that guide, you'll make some of the basic tools, and it gives you a nice location here to get some sap, and these will be underneath here. Also, while you're up here, we'll go into more details of this one a little bit later, but we can pick up some acorn shells from this location too. We'll do a little guide on that a little bit later. I'm just going to run away because I have a bad feeling a spider is chasing me. Getting that distinct spider vibe. And then you can head to research stations. I'll just risk my life to show you. And while you have these in your possession, especially at the start of the game, it's kind of a little bonus tip for you here. You want to go... We've got a spider, have we? Or not? So if you head into these research stations, things that you haven't researched, like this acorn shell, you get 3 goes it's roughly every hour, I think it is. You can find new things to make with those, and there's one here and there's one that you find right at the start of the game. There are others that you can locate, but these ones are really close together, so it's really easy to just keep going back, and that will give you more recipes to unlock. I'll be going through more tips, more recipes and more guides in this. Next one up will be cooking, eating and drinking.